on the Texas A&M Sports Network. From Learfield, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. Welcome to the Aggie Soccer Hour with Coach G. Brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Visit Rudy's.com to find real Texas barbecue near you. St. Joseph Health, the leading healthcare provider in the Brazos Valley and official healthcare provider of Texas A&M Athletics. And by The Pool Guide, a proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. Now, the Aggie Soccer Hour with Coach G.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Aggie Soccer Hour with Texas A&M head coach G Guerrieri. I'm David Ellis. Glad you're here. Glad you're tuning in. We got all kinds of good stuff for you tonight. We're going to talk about games last week. Big, huge game coming up on Friday night here in College Station against LSU. In addition, we've got Pante here. Brie Severns is also here. We'll be talking to them in the second segment. We'll be talking about SEC standings, tournament format, Cavalry Youth Soccer Golf Tournament that's coming up, just all kinds of things going on, promotions that are going to be going on Friday night during the game or before the game against LSU. So just got a ton of stuff to talk about. And there are 3 games left on the schedule, G, and you know, the Aggies' disappointing results last week against Vanderbilt on Thursday and Alabama on the road on Sunday.
Entertaining games, but the wrong results for us is unfortunately the way it went.
Yeah, exactly. And Texas A&M 2-0 against Vanderbilt here, and then a 1-0 loss to Alabama in Tuscaloosa. The Aggies with, you can't win if you don't score.
That's right.
That's pretty much the way
That's right.
That's my in-depth analysis of the game.
That's right, and unfortunately, in both situations, we set ourselves up to score some goals. We just didn't put the ball in the back of the net, and kept it close in both situations on the other side. But if we're not gonna put the ball behind the goalkeeper, between the post and under the crossbar on the other team, then we're going to walk out of there with the wrong result, and that's what has happened now the last 2 times. And I know it's frustrating. It's obviously very frustrating for us because there were a lot of times throughout both matches that we put together some really, really good spells of play. And Thursday against Vanderbilt, I mean, basically it was their 2 kind of best chances to do it, and they had about a chance and a half to score, and they got 2 goals, and we had a lot of chances, and we just didn't, hit the frame well enough. And then in Tuscaloosa in the first half, we had a couple of really good golden opportunities. Hit the post once, were wide another time, and and then they got a chance with their All-American forward up front. A little slip by one of our center backs, and boom, John Paul is in behind and scores. And and same thing that we just couldn't find a way to get it done. And really, it was nice to have Sid Fuller back in goal for us. After missing, and she had a good night. We were fortunate a couple times because we had so many injuries. As we finished the game on Sunday, a lot of new faces in new places on Sunday night to finish the match. And I was pleased for a lot of those players to step in, and they were, really brave in the way that they finished the game, that our players finished the game, and to kind of keep it at 1-0. But again, we've got to get ourselves healthy. We've got to get ourselves back on track, and we got to finish these chances because we're, like I said, we're creating, but we're not finishing.
You look at the game against Alabama on Sunday. You mentioned Sid Fuller in goal. She had 6 saves, and on the goal that we gave up, again, we had a center back slip at about 14 yards, maybe top of the 18, somewhere along in there, and Gianna Paul had free run from about the penalty spot in, and she's not going to miss. Period.
Nope.
I mean, there's not anything that a goalkeeper can do. I mean, a good player is going to make 95% of those, and she's a good player, and that's what she did. And that was the only goal of the night. You go back to Vanderbilt, the Aggies outshot Vanderbilt 16-12 on the night.
Yep.
And and again, as you said, had some opportunities there and just couldn't quite find the key to putting the ball in the back of the net. So again, the Aggies lose 2. First time the Aggies have lost 2 in a row all year long, and
it doesn't happen very often. No. And again, it's unfortunate. We with having Macy Matula go down, our left back, and then having Carolyn Calzada go down, our captain and starting center back, didn't help us out. Having Sid Fuller go down, our goalkeeper didn't go back, didn't help. Having again, a lot of our forwards out didn't help. But again, when we step in and try to get things done, it's when we get chances, we've got to finish it, and it's just a matter of those sound like excuses, and you can't. You gotta take care of it when you can. That's what we've done in the past, and we're not doing it right now.
And it's not for lack of trying in terms of trying to find the right combination on Sunday. I was just looking at it.
Yeah, we've thrown a few different wrinkles out there. We've tried a lot of different
11 substitutes.
That would be a whole nother team
right.
that we've thrown out there to try different looks, different feels, different this, different that, and and again in training we've believe it or not, we work on finishing every day, and
I know you do. I'm out there. I see it. I know you do.
Today, by the way, in practice was actually very, very good, and we got one of our forwards who's coming back from injury, Brie Severns, who's going to be on the show tonight, and then one of the players who was a real highlight, and pretty much all of our attacking highlights from especially from Sunday, Mia Pante is on the show tonight too, and Mia was one of those players who was just inches away on both games. So there's a lot of bright spots to the things that we're doing, and it's one of those deals where it's got the dam has got to break.
I think you're right, and I'm hoping it's Friday night against LSU. The Aggies take on the Tigers at 7:00 on Friday night. Should be a really good game. It is such an important game for both teams. You look at LSU; they come in 7-6-1.
Yep.
I mean, they need a win. The Aggies come into the game at 8-7.
Yep. And both teams are in contention right now for postseason play. Obviously, both for the SEC tournament, but both for NCAA tournament, because we're both right in a position. I saw one mock makeup of the NCAA tournament that had us as a number 8 seed and LSU as one of the first teams out. And us as a seeded, one of the higher seeded teams in the tournament because of the big wins that we've had against top 10 teams. But we've got to be above 500 in our record, and that's the thing
right.
That's kind of our problem, because we've been Santa Claus with some of our games this year and giving away some of our results.
Let's kind of look. If we look back to last week, some interesting results in the league. If I can get back to my notes here, in terms of the Aggies, by the way, sit right now in 6th place in a tie for 6th. Mississippi State, of course, leading. They've got a game in hand over Arkansas because they played one less. They're tied in points. Auburn's in 3rd with 14 points. Of course, the Aggies defeated the Auburn Tigers at Ellis Field, and that's one of the big wins that the Aggies have had in terms of RPI value. Texas is in 4th, South Carolina 5th, and the Aggies, Kentucky, Georgia, and Vanderbilt all tied for 6th. So it is bunched up there in the middle, and that's why these games become so big here toward the end of the season. And speaking of which, back with one of the hurricanes, I think it was Helene, came through. A couple of games got postponed, and Florida and Tennessee are supposed to play on the 30th. But what about Mississippi State and South Carolina? That's the other game that got postponed. Have you heard anything?
I haven't seen anything on that, and one of the things that we talk about is with our coaches and around the league is that we want things to be handled in a uniform manner. We don't want gamesmanship. We don't want some groups to have things handled differently than the rest of us. And when if a game cannot be played, and meaning it cannot be played, not it won't be played or it will not be played because a team says, they're trapped under heavy furniture and they just can't get out. But it's impossible to be played. Then all of a sudden, the way that the points and the way that games are seen changes.
Yes.
From a points
dramatically
thing to an average points per game.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, a little different schedule. The tournament ends on a Sunday, and then the regular season ends on a Sunday. The tournament doesn't start until the following Sunday.
Correct. So you've got 7 days in there.
Yes, and Tennessee and Florida are playing on that Wednesday.
Correct.
After the last regularly scheduled season game, they're playing on a Wednesday, which seems like a perfect time to make that up. And Mississippi State being tied for first in points in the conference, it seemed like Arkansas, of all people, would be yelling and screaming, hey, and you got to make these guys play.
Correct, because if Mississippi State does not play that game, they're held under heavy furniture or something, and they can't get up and they can't get out of Starkville, then their average right now is 100%. So it would be like, well, we win the championship because we're undefeated, and no tag backs, so we can't get out of this furniture.
Yeah.
So we win the league champions.
I mean, I would think that Mississippi State, Arkansas, Auburn, everybody toward the top of the table.
And if South Carolina is all of a sudden one of the top 4 teams, and they're like, hey, you know what, we can't get out either because we're going to get a bye in the first round. All of a sudden, it's like mutually advantageous that they both can't move from wherever they are and they're trapped. That's a problem.
So I wanted to ask you, okay, so let's just say.
But I'm not saying that they would do that.
No,
I would never accuse anyone of doing that.
I know, but what happens, and so you're not saying this, I am. I'm asking the question. What would happen in this kind of a situation?
Because furniture can be heavier.
It can be very heavy
on that side of the Mississippi River than on this side of the Mississippi River.
Absolutely. It gets a lot of water in it and stuff. But anyway, let's say that one of the two teams in this kind of scenario, or both teams, don't want to play. Can the league potentially make them play whether they want to or not?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I mean, I'm just asking. I have no idea.
Then the question would be, I think, because this game was supposed to have been in Columbia, and I saw the way that the field was. I mean, it was the amount of rain that came through Columbia. It was underwater. It was a field of streams.
Sure.
And it was.
I see what you did there.
Thank you very much. So Kevin Costner hopefully doesn't have a copyright on that. So the whole thing was really, really it was unplayable. So you could see how they didn't play. But I think that State might have already been in Columbia and so they had to come back.
Right.
So the question is, would they have to fly back to Columbia to play that game, or would they, since both teams are probably going to be in Pensacola, going to Pensacola for the SEC tournament, would they just have them go to Pensacola to play the game
and play it there?
I don't know.
See, in that scenario, South Carolina, I mean, they get great crowds. I would think that they would.
Both those teams, it's home field advantage.
Yeah.
To play at their place.
Yeah, and I would think that they would want to play it there. But who knows?
Now we have a call. We have a call tomorrow. We have an SEC coaches call tomorrow with the league. So maybe this will be one of the things brought up. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's just sort of an interesting thing the way this all kind of shakes out. Because you got two teams that are going to play. You got two teams that haven't. Not saying they're not going to play, but haven't scheduled the game yet.
It'll be interesting to see too how this could have an effect on further down the table, how it affects people who get into different seedings as well. So
absolutely.
There's other ramifications.
Absolutely. So we've got some huge games coming up this weekend. You've talked about Tennessee. Tennessee's going to be at Georgia. That's
a big game because they're right next to each other. One has 9 points. One has 8 points in the standings.
Very much like LSU and A&M in terms of not so much right next to each other in the standings. The Aggies are tied for 6th. LSU's in 13th. But if you look at their overall record and the kind of 500 type barrier, both teams need this win. And then you've got you've got Texas and Arkansas. They kind of renew their rivalry across all sports. But this is the first time they're going to meet as SEC opponents in any sport. So That'll be kind of interesting.
That's over in Austin, and Austin is completely crowded with, they got Formula One. There's a big football game. There's all kinds of stuff going on over there. So I know that Arkansas is flying in and flying out on the same day on that particular game.
Yeah, I can imagine there's probably no rooms at the inn.
Correct.
I would suspect.
So that's another big one. Arkansas chasing Mississippi State at the top of the table. So that's that'll have big ramifications for seedings in the NCAA tournament for Arkansas. They're trying to chase a top 1 or 2 seed.
Right.
Texas, same thing. They would love to pin down a bid to the NCAAs. They need a big win. They don't have really a big win to help them for a place in the NCAA tournament. This would help them out, big time. So,
and you look at the other game that is of interest. I mean, these are two teams that are at opposite ends of the standings in Mississippi State and Ole Miss, but Mississippi State has to travel to Oxford and play Ole Miss, and that's the Magnolia Cup, their derby game, and Ole Miss is coming off. They picked up their first point in conference play last week. That's got to give them a little bit of confidence. Yeah, you look at it on paper and you go, well, Mississippi State's going to hammer them. But this is the game that people are going to show up on campus. Yes.
People who don't know anything about the game are going to show up because they know that they don't like that team in maroon from across the other side of the state, and they'll show up and they'll come and help the Rebs. They'll give them a little bit more oomph to their game, and it'll be big and it'll be important. And again, Mississippi State's on a 9-game winning streak. They've got something special going on. So
right.
So there's a lot on the line for that one. Absolutely. Same thing with Oklahoma and Missouri. It's an old Big 12 rivalry. Revved up again in the SEC. That game's at Missouri. Two teams that are kind of at the bottom of the standings here, but both teams trying to get eligible for the SEC tournament. Missouri right now is on the inside. Oklahoma is on the outside looking in. They're trying to get themselves eligible, and Oklahoma needing to continue to win to keep themselves eligible for the NCAA tournament. They need a win to keep themselves, comfortably above 500 because they've got a very good RPI number.
Yeah, 32.
But Missouri doesn't have a good. Well, they're just outside the top 100.
Yeah.
So losing wouldn't help Oklahoma at all. So Oklahoma needs a result.
All righty, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back in just a minute. And we're going to have, as I mentioned, Mia Pante and Brie Severns. They're going to join Coach G and I up here at the dais. And don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. This is the Aggie Soccer Hour with Texas A&M head coach G Guerrieri. Alrighty, we are back at Rudy's Barbecue on Harvey Road. David Ellis here with Texas A&M head coach G Guerrieri. Before I introduce these two ladies up here, we're gonna visit with, I just want to remind you, it is 6:20, 6:25, somewhere along in there. It's dinner time, folks. And if you're out and about and driving around and want the best barbecue in town, come to Rudy's Barbecue on Harvey Road. I mean, when you get out of your car, you're gonna smell it, and it's just gonna suck you into this restaurant, and you're going to probably want to order everything on the menu. And the people at Rudy's, well, they're fine. They'll fix that for you. But I'm telling you, it is the best barbecue in town. And so come on out to Rudy's, and you get to talk soccer with Texas A&M head coach G Guerrieri. And if you hurry, you can visit with these two ladies that I have up here right now, and they are to my immediate left. Mia Pante, who is a senior midfielder attacker from Vancouver, British Columbia, one of 3 players that we have from Canada on the roster and who play all the time for us. And then on her immediate left is a transfer student. It's her first year at Texas A&M, played at Kansas before that, and that's Brie Severns. And she is originally from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Is that right? And that's like a suburb of Kansas City? Is that?
Yep.
I mean, but everything in Missouri is kind of a suburb of Kansas City or St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
One of the two? Okay. All right.
Very accurate.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, what we always do is that I just was selling Rudy's Barbecue, but we always have one of the players read the Rudy's Barbecue reader. We've been doing this, Brie. This is your first time on the show, and so we always want to ask the new person on the show to read this. And so we've been doing this. This is our 174th Aggie Soccer Hour, I think. Yeah. We have never had anybody mess this up, okay? So we're on quite a streak here, okay? So I'm just saying that. I don't want to put any pressure on you, anything like that. I just wanted to let you know. Okay. All right. So you're ready? All right. Hit it.
Yes, ready. Soccer and barbecue lovers know the perfect brisket needs the right wood. Rudy smokes all their meats using their delicious signature rubs in 100% oak-fired pits. Get your real Texas barbecue fix today at Rudy's or on the web at rudys.com.
All right. Great job. There you go, Brie.
College graduate already, you know.
Absolutely.
Degree from the University of Kansas right there.
That's right.
Thank
and you can tell it right there. And, you know, this is not, being from a suburb of Kansas City, this is not the first barbecue joint you've probably ever been in, right?
No.
That's what I figured. All righty. So, Mia, I got to start with you as the senior, as the senior in terms of being here at Texas A&M of the group. I mean, first of all, let me just briefly introduce you. You know Mia. She's all SEC prior, when she was a freshman. She was all freshman team. In 2022, she played for Canada's FIFA Women's U20 World Cup team. In 2022, also the CONCACAF Women's U20 Championship, played in that and won the bronze medal there for Canada. A great history of soccer, and as Coach G was talking about, you had a heck of a couple of games last week. The Aggies were unsuccessful as a team, but you had one of the best performances on the field.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel like it's hard to come off and reflect and be positive on yourself when you don't come out with the team result. But I mean, moving forward, I think you need to remember those things and stay positive to then hope for the next game.
Absolutely. G, what couple of things that you saw that she really did well? Well,
one of the things we've been working on with our attack is basically to go after people quickly. And one of the things that Mia did really well and that she recognized, especially in the game on Sunday, was that she had a real advantage with her pace, especially her pace on the dribble. And there wasn't anyone on the Alabama back line that could kind of stick with her. So she was able to, really attack, get end line. The goalkeeper made a really good save on her in a 1v1 there was that in the first half? That was still in the first half. Mm-hmm. And they were able to kind of keep her in check the one time. But in both games, by being able to get it and be able to, attack with pace, attack with, fury of being able to take people on, get end line, draw balls back across, put a great ball across for Jazz to be able to hit a first-time shot. And unfortunately, Jazz hit the shot and it just, didn't quite finish. The goalkeeper made a good save on it. But, creating good opportunities for us to score is what, name of the game, what she's looking to do.
And Brie, I wanted to ask you, I mean, you first part of the year injured. I mean, you come to after a successful career at Kansas and you come down here playing as a grad student and then you're injured. That had to be frustrating as all get out.
Yeah, that's the simplest way to put it. Yeah.
But you finally gotten on the field. I mean, you played now in the last 3 games, and when you go out there, you're making a difference. And kind of talk about your role when you go into the game.
For right now, I think my role is, to bring energy, to bring light, to bring hope to our team. I know our season hasn't been going the way we want it to with our results, but I believe in this team so much. I have so much faith in our team and our talent. And I think my role, especially seeing from the bench, I can see what we can do. Mm-hmm. And to just bring the energy and allow that to try to come to life and being as consistent as possible in order to help our team get successful and get chances and hopefully finish those chances. So,
you come in as the new kid in town, so to speak, okay, with big change. How long did it take you to start to feel comfortable around your teammates and around the game here in College Station?
So I had the opportunity to play with most of them in the summer, so that was amazing. I think over time, it kind of just got easier. The girls here are super welcoming, so it wasn't honestly that hard to get acclimated. But I mean, sitting out then from about beginning of August till a few weeks ago. I think the girls have just been like super welcoming. They're amazing people, amazing humans, and just getting to know them as people off the field also helps on the field.
Sure, I bet it
So
does.
that connection, honestly, has just been growing and blossoming on the field now that I'm on the field. And so I'm just very thankful. Like, it was very, honestly, easy to get acclimated. They're so great. And so it's just about me going out there and doing my job and helping them become successful.
You finally
too.
starting to feel better?
Yes.
Good. That is
Finally.
good to hear.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, one of the things that has always struck me about the statistics that I see on you, and of all times I didn't bring my career stats here. I always bring them, and today I didn't, but I know from memory. You've got about 2.5 times more assists than you do goals, okay? Mm-hmm. Which tells me, you've got a lot of goals. I'm not downplaying that, but what I'm saying is that what it tells me is just a fan, is you're somebody who you have to play with your head up in order to get a lot of assists, because you've got to know where people are open and be able to get the ball to them in order for them to take the shot and to score, right? Has your ratio of like goals to assists kind of always been that way, or is that something that's developed at A&M?
Actually, I think it's something that's developed at A&M because I don't know if it was mentioned, but before I came to A&M, I was a left back or a defender. So my stats, I guess, weren't as significant as they are now, being a forward in front of the net more. But I think just playing into like the assists and like having that role, that's something that I look for. In my position, driving down, like G said, getting to the end line and cutting the ball back is kind of what I look to do and something I can see as a strength. So that's what I kind of rely on sometimes to do.
Sure.
So, we've been successful that way. So I think that's maybe why. Could work on the finishing though.
Yes, and that's going to get better. I have faith in you guys. I'm telling you. That's one of the things that I'm just kind of starting to feel in my bones. My bones are very old. They've done this before, so I'm feeling it coming on. And so, Brie, coming to you as a grad student. Okay, so what's your major? What are you getting your degree in?
I'm getting a master's in biomedical sciences.
What?
Yes.
Just a simple major. She's here just for blow-off classes.
I could never.
No, I could never. If I've told people this before, if I had to pass a biology class to graduate from Texas A&M, I'd still be an undergrad. I would be. I'd be a 71-year-old undergrad because I am not passing that course. So what are you going to do when you graduate, other than make a lot of money?
I think my hope is to go professional somewhere. I'd be grateful to be anywhere, to be honest. But when my soccer career is over, I'd love to be either go to school and become a radiologist or go to school, med school, and become an anesthesiologist.
Yeah, that's the thing right there. There's commas, lots of commas and zeros in most of their salaries, so that's a pretty good deal.
That's very
Mia,
nice.
what about you?
Kind of same. Well, first part, same as Brie. After I graduate in December, so the real world is coming up very soon, and I hope to go play professional, either in Europe, the U.S., or Canada's actually launching their first professional league in 2025. So that's super exciting. Something that has been needed in Canada, but I don't know. That's just at the starting stages. So we'll see how that develops. That's always kind of an option. So I don't know, hopefully play professionally.
Yeah, I can imagine. So after you do that, you can't play soccer forever.
I know.
And so at some point you're going to have to get a regular job. I know. I don't mean to spring anything on you that you weren't aware of, but I'm just saying.
Something I've been interested in and did an internship with was HR. So I feel like I'm a very people's person. I like to interact with people. I like to relate and build relationships with people.
Sure.
So I think HR is something that in the business field I could see myself in. And I did do an internship with that a couple summers ago. And I had never been in an environment like that. And I don't know, it was really cool and a good opportunity for me to see a path that I could maybe go into after. Yeah. So I think that's something that's caught my eye and I look forward to doing after soccer.
Right. So as one of the senior leaders on this team, what have you talked to your teammates about in terms of the focus for the last 3 games and then going into the SEC tournament?
Yeah, I think just even though we're so down, and like even today walking into the locker room, we have the SEC standings up there on our screen, and I overhear people being like, what? Like, we're not even that low on the standings, or like, oh, what? Like, we're all shocked, because I feel like coming off 2 losses, it's so easy to be negative.
Sure.
But like Phil showed today and before practice was just like the goods from the game. It's so easy to forget that. So I think just like staying confident in ourselves. And again, like the rankings then came out this week for the top 25, and you look there and you have TCU ranked number 8 and Auburn ranked number 11. So it's like remembering those things in our big games that we've competed against these top opponents, and just using that momentum and having that confidence to play like we played in those games. Because if we can play like that in those games and compete against those teams, then I think we can finish off the season strong.
Bree, one last question, and I'll let you guys go. First year at A&M. Pardon me, first year at A&M, but, I mean, you're one of the veterans, okay? You've been through a lot of college soccer. Do you try to talk as well to some of the younger players about, hey, this is doable, we can do this?
Yeah, I think I kind of come from a different kind of perspective. You know, at the University of Kansas, we didn't get the opportunity to go to our postseason tournaments. We didn't do so well the seasons that I was there. So honestly, I'm using this as a kind of like a sign, or kind of using this as, you know, motivation. For me, I haven't been to a postseason tournament that I was able to play in. So I think for me, it's more of just keeping that confidence high.
Sure.
Like, we have the ability to do this, and like we have the talent to do this. So I think kind of just using it as a perspective piece of putting everything back into perspective and saying, no, we have the ability to do this. Like, we can do it, we can be successful, and we can get something out of it.
All righty. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Friday night, and I'm looking forward to the week after that. Good things ahead for Texas A&M soccer. I want to say thanks to Mia Pante, Brie Severns. I know that you guys are busy. You got a lot of studying and all that stuff to do. I appreciate you taking time to come out and visit with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty, we're going to take another
Great
quick
job,
break.
ladies.
Yep, great job, and we'll be right back right after this. The Aggie Soccer Hour with Texas A&M head coach G Guerrieri. All righty, we are back at Rudy's Barbecue on Harvey Road. I'm David Ellis, alongside is Texas A&M head coach G Guerrieri. And I need to mention, to my right up here is Kevin is the one who runs the board here, and Blake is back at the studio. Without these two guys, if Coach G and I left to our own devices, we would have been off of the air about 2 minutes after we started. So fortunately, these guys help us put this program together and keep us on the air. And we are so grateful to them, to Brian Broadcasting, and all, and Rudy's Barbecue, and everybody who has something to do with this program. And I need to tell you also about the 12th Man Foundation. It's the official fundraising organization and ticket provider for Texas A&M athletics. Support a 75-year legacy and help share the future of Aggie athletics by donating today at 12thmanfoundation.com. All right, Coach G, I want to talk about one thing that I know is very near and dear to your heart, and that is the Calvary Youth Soccer Charity Golf Classic. What's going on there?
Well, we will be again doing our Charity Golf Classic in December. December 9th will be the annual golf tournament. This is I've been doing this for a long time now, and we're proud of what we've been able to do for the community. This is something we've been doing out at the Traditions Club. Traditions Club, those of you who are here in town, obviously a great championship golf course, has hosted national championships with the NCAA, and they're in the process right now of completely renovating the golf course, and it's been closed. The golfers in town know they've been kind of a lot of hand-wringing and consternation. It's been closed for the entire summer. It will be reopened. We will be one of the first events going on out there in December. So the event will be out there on December 9th. That's a Monday. And this event is for kids here in town. And what this is we raise money annually to basically help kids to be able to play competitive youth soccer, and basically the lessons learned from being able to play competitive sports we think are some of the most important lessons learned in a young person's life. And we want to, sometimes competitive sports have become have become barriers because of the costs of professional coaching and everything else, and it is sometimes something that is keeping a lot of kids from being able to experience those things. And we want to try to, raise as much money as we possibly can so that cost does not become a factor in that. And we've been able to raise, last year we raised about $80,000 for this, and we're able to take care of a lot of families here in town for a lot of different reasons. But one of the main things that we're able to raise money for is to help kids to play soccer here in town. And it's something that we've been able to do with this particular club. I'm the volunteer president of this club. This is for boys here in town. It's not for girls, so I don't have any kind of conflicts as far as with my position at Texas A&M.
Sure.
But it's something I'm really proud of what we're able to do. Dr. Rick Seabolt is our director of coaching. Those of you who know Dr. Seabolt is, there's not a better person than Rick Seabolt here in the Brazos Valley, and it's something that we do. If you go to CoachGGolf.com, you can learn a lot about the event. You can get involved. You can sponsor a team. You can sign your team up, sign up your foursome. It's like I said, it's a amazing course, and it's a great cause to come out and get involved in. So CoachGGolf.com is the easiest way to go and get involved in it, and or you can go to golf@cavalrysoccer.com is also a good way to get involved in it.
Well, I have to tell you, I have put a team together, and we pay our money just like everybody else, and typically it's me, my son-in-law, one son-in-law, and one of my old
couple
roommates.
ringers that, as far as I remember, a couple really good
my
golfers.
son is, yes, and the other guy that's kind of a ringer is my old college roommate, and he plays a pretty good round of golf as well. Not so much, but at any rate, we have a great time, and I'm telling you this because this is a tournament that is very, very well run. I mean, they put great prizes together. They put
Callaway Golf has put together some great prizes.
Yeah.
There's a
great lunch. Rudy's is out there serving
Rudy's
lunch.
is a big sponsor of it. There's a great auction items involved in this. There's a live auction. There's a silent auction that goes along with this. There's all kinds of fantastic people in this community comes together to help out these kids, and it really is. There's a lot of benefits to it.
Absolutely, it is just very, very well run, and so go to CoachGGolf.com. Sign up for this thing. You'll have a lot of fun, and you have been remarkably lucky with the weather.
Stop it.
Okay, all right. So, except for that 1 year when you weren't.
Yeah. So, and the deal is, even if you're not a golfer and you want to just kind of come in and maybe sponsor a hole or have your company or something be just be a sponsor in kind, we'd love to have you involved in any way possible. So help us out and go to CoachGGolf.com and get involved if you can.
Yep, and we'll talk about this some more again next week as well. But again, CoachGGolf.com, CoachGGolf.com, and get signed up, get a team together. You'll have a lot of fun. All right, got a couple questions here.
Hit me.
All right, video review.
Mm-hmm.
Can a coach request a review or challenge like in football, or is it entirely up to the referee? And who is the referee on the headset with when they're reviewing a play? Is someone else making the call?
Okay, so those are really good questions because that's come up. It came up actually in LSU's game last week at Kentucky. A little bit of controversy. So, number one, no, we cannot. The coaches, we cannot. So if you see, you'll
request a
you'll
review.
see coaches like do a rectangular. That is taboo. That is like asking for. That's like asking for trouble. You don't do that, and that's actually you can be carded for that.
Okay.
Because it's like it's like showing up the referee, and they don't like that.
Yeah.
So number one, you cannot do that. And there is a video technician, I'd say producer, that is with Hawkeye. Hawkeye is the company that does our stuff with the SEC. SEC has the best video review technology in the NCAA of all the sports of all the conferences, and by far, we've spent a lot of money on this. The SEC network has, and they are speaking to a technician here at Texas A&M, someone with 12th Man Television, at our studios here, and that's the way it is at all of the SEC sites. They're speaking to somebody there now at other schools, I don't know who they're talking to. So that's the way it is with soccer. They're speaking to somebody on campus somewhere in their control room.
Is this, when you say they, you mean the referee or
the
somebody?
referee? If the referee has a headset, he's
Right,
talking to a director or a producer
over there saying, give me this look.
in a control room,
Okay.
and they're telling him what is available for him to see.
Okay, I got it. Now,
Or her to see.
okay, so then at that point, is there anybody at the conference office or anywhere else that, okay, so it's totally, he gets to tell the folks over at 12th Man Productions, hey, can you give me this view? Can you give me that view? 12th Man Productions will tell them what's available.
Correct. It's all on campus. Now, in the other sports in the SEC, it goes back to a big control room. We were just there. As a matter of fact, a big control room in Birmingham in the first floor of the offices. There's this amazing control room that has a gajillion video monitors. That's not the way it is in soccer yet.
It's all done on site.
It's all done on campus in their their main SEC network control room on their campus.
Good question. All right. We're going to take another quick break, and then we'll come back with a sprint to the finish. You're watching and listening to Texas A&M Soccer, the Coach G Soccer Show. We'll be right back right after this. All righty, welcome back to Rudy's Barbecue on Harvey Road. It's the Aggie Soccer Hour with Texas A&M head coach G Guerrieri. I'm David Ellis, and it's a sprint to the finish here in the Aggies. We have talked about it, Coach, a couple of times today. This is a huge game for Texas A&M. It's a huge game for LSU in terms of, the conference season is winding down. We've got the game. Everybody plays a single game on Friday, and then turn around and play the following Thursday and the following Sunday, and that is it for most of the teams. Now, we talked earlier about maybe a couple of makeup games there, but really for Texas A&M and for LSU and the vast majority of teams, there are 3 games left.
That's right.
And they're all big. And the Aggies play LSU, and then play the 2 teams that are currently back-to-back that are currently tied for first in the league.
Yep, and undefeated.
Yep. So, yeah. So, anyway, Friday night's an important game.
That's right. And
what can you tell me about LSU?
Well, they are very talented. They are really tall, some really tall attacking players. Hermisdottir, number 10, and Galligan, number 20, are both, I think they're about 8.5 feet tall.
Okay.
All right. At least they look that tall on the field. They're both really elegant in the way that they play too. Hermisdottir, Icelandic, as the name would sound, really effective in the way that she plays. She plays as their pure playmaker, and a lot of the attack goes through her. Very sophisticated in the way that she plays.
So is she kind of in that 10 role?
She plays in the 10 role, wears the number 10, and she leads the team in scoring with 7 goals, no assists, but even with that, a lot of the play still comes through her, and even though she's a finisher, still a lot of the play comes through her. It comes through and goes out of her, but then she's there to finish a lot of chances. But then they've got other players like this Andrea Illich is great set pieces. She has scored several goals by being able to bend balls around and over walls, as well as with penalty kicks. So they're they've scored on a couple penalty kicks and free kicks in SEC play. They were scoring more in free flow in the non-conference, but they're a team that is they've been a little bit up and down, a little bit Jekyll and Hyde, a little bit like us. Frankly, once the SEC portion of the season has started, and they'll come in hungry. They were undefeated against them all time, so they know that, and that'll have them extra motivated. I think Sean Hudson, who's their coach, a woman, she's a Welsh background. She came to LSU from great success at the University of Colorado Springs. A terrific woman, has done a great job culturally kind of bringing LSU forward, and I think she's done a wonderful job with them. They're a very good possession team, very good passing team. They keep possession very well as they build up from back to front. So they're a super dangerous team, and a team that is they worry me in a lot of ways.
Got a lot of great bargains coming up on the game on Friday. We've got, for example, a family combo offer. $28 gets you 4 GA tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 soft drinks. Now, deadline
You can't do that like going to just a regular fast food joint, and you get a game for that as well.
It takes $28 for my wife and I to go to a movie, and that's before you hit the concession stand. I mean, great entertainment. So the family combo offer, deadline to purchase is Thursday, but check it out. We got $5 beer night again. Fans 21 or over can purchase a special beer offering for $5. That's half price, and it's a Junior Aggie Club game. Junior Aggie Club members can get a free ticket to the game. And you can purchase additional tickets at a discounted price. So you got to be 12 and under to join the Junior Aggie Club. But it's a great deal. They have all kinds of things going on during the season. And the first 300 fans are going to get an Adidas T-shirt that says Texas A&M Aggies on it. And that's first 300 fans in the northwest corner of Ellis Field. So you don't want to miss that. Get there and get there early. This is LSU. It's
big.
It is big. It is, and it's made even bigger because of the postseason coming up and people playing for standings in the SEC tournament, the NCAA tournament, and all of that kind of good stuff. All right.
And it's a needed game. We need the 12th man out there. We desperately need you. So come on out. We need you.
7 o'clock on Friday, Texas A&M and LSU. All right, I need to remind you that this copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield IMG College under broadcasting rights granted by Texas A&M University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of Texas A&M University and Learfield IMG College. Announcers are provided by Learfield IMG College and Texas A&M University. For G Guerrieri, I'm David Ellis. Yegum.